All praise the Most High Yahweh, the Heavenly Father, and the name of the Holy Spirit, the earthly mother, sanctifying Yahweh Shai, the Holy Son. Honor and respect to the chosen and the grafted, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters. Welcome to chapter 7, the lesson about the book of Lamech of Cain and Leviathan, or dragons or monsters. Today is still Friday, September the 26th, 2020, and it's currently 2:22 p.m. I had to take a little break, so I'm back. All right. Now, chapter 7, Lamech the Polygamist. We know Lamech has two wives, and Genesis 18, no, I believe Genesis 20. Uh, let's read Genesis 20. 19? Yeah, Genesis 4, verse 19. And Lamech took unto him two wives. The name of the one was Ada, and the name of the other Zilda. So now, a polygamist. Let's see where we can. Polygamist. What is a polygamist? Anytime anything that has the word poly in front of it mean more, several. Like a polyglot. I'm a polyglot. I speak several language. A polygamist. Noun. A person who has more than one wife or husband at the same time. A person who has more than one wife or husband at the same time. Okay, so a polygamist, Abraham was a polygamist. Well, they should have put concubine here. So a person that have more than one wife, concubine. This definition is wrong. A person who has more than one wife or husband at the same time. No. Or husband. No, no. Uh, no. That's not. Well, polygamist versus. No, this thing is. This is wrong. I think they put that or husband to, for the LGBT community, that gay stuff, but that's not. Let's see polygamy antonyms. Oh no, that's that's just straight up monogamy. But for the women, polyandry. Let's see polyandry. Polyandry, polygamy in which a woman has more than one husband. Yes. All right. This is the definition of polyandry for women. There are so many polyandrist women in that time. They have multiple husbands. We'll get to that though, right there in that chapter. But polygamy doesn't mean uh, let's see. They put polygamist, a person who has more than one wife or husband at the same time. No, no. That's not what it means. They are mixing up everything, man. A polygamist is a person who has more than one wife, more than one girlfriend, more than one concubine. Solomon, old man Abraham, Isaac. No, no, Israel, Jacob. Isaac only had one, Rebecca. But really, no. Isaac has what Isaac wife name? I don't want to confuse Rebecca and yeah, Rebecca. And yes, Rebecca. All right, so Genesis 4:19, Lamech took unto him two wives. The name of the one was Ada, and the name of the other is Zillah. So he was a polygamist, which was no big deal. That's what thing was back then. But you'll see how things never changes. Like thousands of years ago, till this day, things never changes. All right, Lamech the polygamist. There were less women. Give me a second. I was interrupted for a second. All right. There were less women in that time. No wonder. And Lamech had two wives, for Lamech was exceedingly wealthy. This is one thing with the priesthood of Mahan, man. So when those guys are, I mean, when those guys are doing those things, preaching around, so they will get a lot of money because they can tell the people to fill out the tithe and fill out the bucket. They will just fill it out. So Lamech was pretty wealthy. Okay, and because the women that they had women, most of them, but most of those women belonged to the Nephilim, or the sons of God, or the Rephaim, because you would need quite a lot of money to get a woman, because a lot of women, the watchers, the fallen angel will have a lot of women killed, and a lot of women will be dying because of the injury during you know the sexual intercourse, and a lot of them will die because of the injury when they give him birth to those giant, because it says in the book of Enoch, the belly will burst open and then the kid will fall. So a lot of women were rare to a point that you really have to get a lot of money to get women. So, and it's supposed to be seven, I think a ratio of like 7 women and 4 men, or 7 women 2 men, something like this. So that's how the Lord made it. But the fallen angel has the opposite. They want more men, less women. That's what the giant, for every 100,000 giant you find, 1 woman. It sounds like, whoa, man, this is a sausage fest, which that's what it was. So when you read it, it's like you'll see why the giant went extinct in some way. Somehow they went extinct because there was a prophecy against them. There weren't barely any women born in the giant, but there were giant women. Okay, there's a very famous giant woman in the stories of the other book, which we will read anytime we have time. All right, let's see what we have here. For Lamech was exceedingly wealthy, and the wives knew that to marry a woman should decide if it is for love or for wealth. Nothing changed, man. Nothing new under the sun. Okay. Zillah and Ada both choose to marry Lamech for wealth. So both of those black women, they decide to marry Lamech because of his wealth. They didn't love him. People, these things happen all the time. It happened as we speak right now. It happened as you listen. Oh, all right, give me a second. Whoop, 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 whoop. My apology. They are coming left and right. So, boy, I'm not quite sure where I was. Zillah and 2 women. Yes, people, this thing happen all the time. It's still happening today. Women, and even back in the day, they could choose to marry for wealth or for love. Don't laugh. Don't laugh. Are we going to read this and it's very funny, but this is Lamech writing these things, man. So back then, still now, women can choose that. They can choose to marry you because of your wealth or your love. Back then, they were telling you, but now they will just say it's love. It's all love, but it's not true, people. It's not true. You see it all over. That's why you see all those celebrities always get divorced. They barely can hold any marriage, and the number one divorce cause in America is money problem. Am I right? Yes. What's the number one? Uh, I'm a very slow typer. What's the number one reason reason for divorce? Oh boy, money problem. All right. And while the reason vary, a common thread on the majority of divorces including money problem. Money. That's the number one because it's been going on for a while. People don't let people think like make you think that people ought to marry this person for wealth and stuff. When you see those quote unquote Gentiles women are marrying those basketball players, football players, actors, don't don't think for 1 second. Don't think for 1 second. Not even a split of a second. It's for love. It's always for money. There's a YouTuber, a dude can't become a homeless. I can't find his video. His wife left him during the 808 crash. He was making millions of dollars. The moment his business failed, the wife pack of his hish, kick him out, take half of his stuff, more than half, and then he become homeless. So nothing new here. There is no shocking news. That's what it was. Zilla and Ada, both of those dark skinned, super black women, both choose to marry Lamech for wealth. And Lamech shamelessly uncovered himself before both of them and they mocked him and said he was vain man. So Lamech Lamech doing he was consuming the marriage. So Lamech took his clothes off. Lamech show them his wing. So they mock him, they laugh at him because they say he was vain man. Okay, so let's see what's vain mean. All right, let's see. This is Lamech. Okay, I was making that thing right here. Let's define the word vain. Vain. Having or showing an excessively high opinion of one's appearance, ability, of worth. Their flattery made him vain. Conceit, narcissistic. So he was a narcissist, man. Vain, like okay, having or showing an excessive high opinion. Lamech was bragging. I got a huge thing. Remember those women? They use let's see, probably Lamech wasn't, he was let's see what we were, Giga, here we go. Probably in that time Lamech was huge, man. I mean, the man was a giant, but compare him, because he looked like this, compare him to the man of his time. The man was vain, and he was bragging that he's huge and stuff like that, and they reject his statutes and never listen to his, and they're following their own. So because of his small stature, they reject his statutes. Oh, let's look this word statute. Statute. Well, his orders and stuff like that. His law, a written law passed by legislative, a rule of organization, a biblical made sovereignty. His orders. So they won't listen to. Again, let's statute. Small statute. Stature. Stature. I don't want to confuse any word. Short stature. Let's see. Let's define statute. A person's natural height, importance, height, size, build. Okay, status, stature, but not statute. But they reject his law. Let's see, they reject his order because the women, they didn't have no respect for him because Zillah and Ada, both of those women, they came from the line of Seth. Okay, they were like the daughters of. I believe they were the daughters. Zillah and Ada were the daughters of Methuselah. Yeah, I believe they were the daughter of Methuselah. Okay, they came from the line of Seth, so they didn't respect this dude. They didn't respect Lamech because one, Lamech shamelessly uncovered himself before both of them, and they mocked him and said he was vain man. Okay, because Lamech member wasn't as huge as the giants because that's what the women were back then. A lot of people, you know how I feel right now. I feel like I'm doing a lot of people wrong here. I'm trying to make a point here. Lamech was like at least 12 feet tall. The man, for now, he was bigger than any other man because he was a giant. But compared to the Titans back then, and a narcissist always like talking about like how big he is, how good everything is on his side. But when you really find out like the truth, you're like, oh boy, that's messed up. So, and Lamech was like making himself too big, so the women reject him. They reject his whatever statute. There's three words right here, 1, 2, 3. They didn't translate, statute, and never listen to his, and they're following their own. So those women rebel against him. They didn't respect Lamech because they know his bloodline is all messed up. This like, yo, we only here for the money. You just have sex with us and then do your thing, give us the money, and we don't want nothing else to do with you. And the thing is, like, they even kicked the man out of his own house, man. This is crazy. You just realize those things been happening for thousands of years, even before the flood. Women like, this is crazy, man. But anyway, let's stop being immature right here. So. Okay, so they followed their own, so they didn't care about what Lamech was saying. Like they followed their own vanity and become vain themselves. Okay, they become worthless and vain themselves because they didn't want to listen to their husband, and they encouraged the young men to lust after their nakedness when they bathe in the city of Enoch. So what those women were doing, remember, those were righteous women. Ada and Zillah, they were good women. So now, one thing about women, they like attention. So what they were doing, they will bathe in public. Can you imagine you living in a city, Lamech is the richest homie over there, and then those women will take bath outside, and then they will perform for the young men out there, and they will actually have intercourse with those young men. They will actually sleep with them. And Lamech knew about it. They didn't care because they marry you for your money. So really, they didn't care about your love. And Lamech really did love those women. Okay, and it's just the thing. For today, as of today, a lot of women marry men for their wealth. They just have sex with this man, and they give this man something to shut the hell up. And then after that, they'll go out and then have sex with anybody or anything for that matter, men, women, and beasts. People, I'm pretty sure somebody know this, whether it's personal, whether it's primary source or secondary source. I know this as a secondary source. Many women that they marry men that have money, but they don't really love this man because this man is disgusting. He's a narcissist. Most of the time, they are narcissists because of the money that they have. They'll go around and have sex with a bunch of other men. Okay, so that's what happened. So those women will go in the city of Enoch, the first city, the city of the forefathers of Lamech, of Cain. So they will bathe outside naked, and they will encourage the young men around here to lust after them. Publicly play with themselves. Like this thing happened for real. Those women would take bath, and those young men would come and then publicly pleasure themselves in front of them, and those women will put a show and they will wash themselves, they will do this, and sometime, which is most of the time, they sleep with all those young men. That's what was happening in the time. Remember, those two women were righteous women. They were quote unquote church girls. Now the church girls went to the ghetto, they went to the hood. All those buck breaking, buck dancing Negroes run into them. And they're like, damn, shorty, you pretty inside. They see how much power they have. They can control all those men, because when they were in the church, it's all like, hey, sit straight, do this, do that. They always receive order. And then when they get outside of the church, they went to a place that they can actually commanded men. They can actually give them orders, and they will do it. Okay, because there were a few women, and those women were beautiful. Can you imagine? And those women were like wanted women. They were like women from the side of Seth. You know, they were the women of God. So the young men to lust after their nakedness when they bathe. So they were like, bathing in the city of Enoch and stuff like that. Crazy stuff. All right. Lamech cannot love. Let's see if we record. Good Lord. It is. Okay, young men to lust after their nakedness when they bathe. Lamech cannot love two women at the same time. Lamech learned that no man can serve two wives, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold on to the one and despise the other. The same thing happened to old man Jacob with the both sister Leah and her sister. Well, you know the story. So he loved the first sister, he despised the other one because she has tender eyes. Okay, and then she turned out to be pregnant. The sisters start fighting. Man, this is the same thing all over again. All right. Okay, so hold the other and despise the other. Lamech could not serve both Zillah and Ada. Serve, he could not either pleasure none of them because they hating him. Okay, Lamech himself loved with Ada, the mother of Jabal and Jubal, and while he was in love with Ada, Zillah vexed Lamech. Okay, the same thing happened with Joseph. What is the fellow name again? Our forefather Jacob, Israel. When Israel was in love with Leah's sister, and Leah vexed her, and then vice versa. Abraham too. Abraham never really was in love with Zipporah or the Egyptian woman. He was in love with Rebecca, but Rebecca was like, Sarai. Sarah was like, why you love her more than me and stuff. You know how women does, man. Nothing new under the sun. If you are dating two women and then they know that, they know for a fact there's one of them that you like more than the other. And things gonna happen. Mostly both of them gonna come after your butt. So, so when they don't respect you. She was jealous. Okay, I think Zillah. Who was the jealous one? Zillah? Zillah vexed Lamech because she was jealous. Zillah, the mother of Naaman, Noah's wife, she was jealous. Then Lamech in love with Zillah, and then Ada vexed him. So, when Lamech show affection to Zillah, Ada like, yo, why are you showing this affection? It's me. You have to love me. None of them love Lamech. They just want all the attention to themselves. That's why they will go outside and take a bath and then performing for the young men and have them, spill their seal all over. I don't want to go there, but anyway. So both women deceive him and they trick him into leaving their beds. Zillah would say, tonight you stay with Ada. And upon arriving in Ada's chambers, Ada would say, you belong in Zillah's bed. And Lamech's life was such that he left his house often to spend times with Uval the giant and the Leviathan. People, I'm so sorry. This story, you just sit there, you can imagine this story happened like thousands of years ago, and this man was suffering the same thing that men are suffering today. He went to wife number one. Wife number one like, yo, you're not gonna sleep here tonight, okay? Go sleep with your wife number two. Fine, I have two. He went to wife number two. Wife number two say, you can't sleep here. Go to wife number one. It's like, what the hell you women want me to do? You know what? Let me get the hell out of this house, man. So Hey, Lamech went out there and then spent time with. He went to the bar. He went to spend time with the homies, with his pet, and then with the giant, with his homeboy. So the women were giving him a hard time. Remember, if this was the old Lamech, he would have killed him. The old Lamech man wouldn't play this hitch, man. He would have killed him. Because back then, old Lamech weren't interested in women at all. He was interested in murdering, killing, rape, rob, and homosexuality, because it says it there in the previous lesson. We'll see it. So he went out, man. He's like, yo, man, let's go out. Let's go to the bar. Let's go to the temple, see what's going on. I can't go home right now. Those, snitches are, not behaving. Whoop. Okay, so Lamech and the temple prostitute. So Lamech went to a strip club, man. He just went to a bar just to relax. And when Lamech did finally go to the temple in the city of Enoch, and he saw a temple prostitute that he liked, and he slept with her, and he never kissed her or learned her name. And soon the temple prostitute become the only woman that Lamech thought of. Okay, so now the man being spiritually and sexually beating up at home, he went to the bar, he went to the strip club, he's rich, man. He went to, things like that happen all the time. And now you see where they get those movies, man. Now you see how those people get the stories for the movies and all that, like Little Love, or what's that movie called again with that fellow? He play Hank Pym. Well, whatever. There's a Little Love, or like Criminal Love, that women, he find love and she try to kill the rabbit boy, or whatever. So now that's the only women Lamech can thought of, because he get heat at home, and now he met this stripper in that nightclub, and because that's what they were. A strip club is a temple. Back then that's what they were. He went to the temple, and then he went to the strip club. He met this girl. He didn't kiss her. He didn't even know her name. He just grabbed her, and then he started having sex with her, pay her, and then he started liking her. And every moment, that's what he kept thinking about, the women. And Zillah and Ada began following lustful young men into their tents. So those women, both his wife, were letting young men into their tent having sex with them. People, listen, you have to understand, back then that was quite normal. They weren't, you cheated with me and all that bull. People know what they were doing, and they will explain this to you. Okay, so this is a very hard book to read, man. Whatever. So Zillah and Ada, Lamech's wife, were allowing lustful young men into their tents. They were having sex with much more younger men in their houses. When Lamech learned of this, he sent for his son Tubal Cain weapon, because Lamech wanted to murder this young man. He didn't want the Leviathan to do it, for Lamech desired to commit sin of Cain. So Lamech knew this. He didn't want to kill them with his own hand, or he didn't want to use the Leviathan, for Lamech desired to commit the sin of Cain. So he wanted revenge. The dude, it's personal now. The Leviathan would have been too easy, so he didn't want to do it with his hands, so he sent his son to go kill those dudes because they were having sex with his wife. So man, this is crazy. All right, so we'll stop here. Well, we'll rapidly move to chapter 8. Okay, honor and respect. Move to chapter 8. All right, see you in chapter 8.